brother did. And so people with religious hatred in their hearts, who are seeking to put others to death, who were picking up stones to stone him, he associates that with the idea that there's something about Christ's righteousness, there's something about his perfections, his glory, which exposes their sin. So if I'm a really good person and I hang out with guys who are not so good, it's not true, but if it was,
I understand.
Yeah, my righteousness, it shows their imperfections and makes them look a bit silly sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's something. I think that's how Christ. So that's the logic. Christ is going deeper into the hearts and the superficial.
So according to your reasoning, when he said, many good works have I shown you, from the Father. For which of the good works do you stone?
Yeah.
You are suggesting that he is actually equating it with the first killing by the brothers.
Yeah.
Is that what you are saying?
I'm saying that religious killings, if you want to call that, they plan to stone him. That's why they fit him up. Is motivated by religious hatred for people who are righteous. So Jesus says, "I come into the world as light, but men love darkness rather than light, and so they seek to get rid of the light." It's like if I'm exposed in some way, I don't want to be exposed, so I'll keep myself in the dark. So he's going deeper into their hearts and he's saying, "You're picking up stones to stone me is because you're offended by my goodness and my glory."
I can see the logic.
Yeah.
But don't you think that the next verse actually suggests something otherwise? Because they said to him, "For a good works, we are not stoning you."
Sure.
So the association you made is not necessarily the association they were making. Because they are merely saying, "For a good works we stone you not, but for
blasphemy. Because you being a man make yourself God."
Right. Now, it's obvious that he said to them, "I've shown you many good works." Yeah? Which of the good works are you stoning me for? Now, just prior to him saying, "I and my Father one," they had come to him and asked him, if thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Verse 23 onward. He says to them, and he explains to them what he is saying. What does he say? If you go at verse 24 and
23 of chapter 11.
10. Chapter 10, verse 23 onward. What does he say?
24 is the part about
That's
if you are the
exactly.
Messiah.
It says, "I told you and you do not believe. The works that I do in my Father's name."
Stop there. Now you see, what does he associate himself with? The works that I do in
my Father's name.
Now the narrative there is right through about good works, he's saying. If you carry on, you will find, and he says, "My sheep hear me and my sheep follow me." He goes on to say, "No one can pluck them out of my Father's hand, no one can pluck them out of my hand." Now you will notice that the whole narrative there is talking about good works. So logic is dictating that when they do pick up stones to stone him, his logical and reasonable reaction was, "Many a good works have I shown. For which of the good works are you stoning me?" Because we've been talking about good works. So this association with Cain and Abel is something we need to address. But we actually held them that they said to him, "For a good work we are not stoning you, but for blasphemy."
But Jesus also said to these Jews, just to interject, he said, "You are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do." He was a liar from the beginning. So
who was a liar? Sorry.
The devil.
Right.
He was a liar from the beginning, and by implication, as sons of the devil, those who follow him, that's what kind of the idea of son means, and those who follow after the way of the Father. So Jesus is telling us that these people are liars anyway. So I can kind of see where you're going with it. I think you're saying that Jesus, he seems to misinterpret what they're saying. I'm saying he doesn't misinterpret.
I understand. Of course, your perspective. What I am saying is, look, the idea of a creator in a triune form or a dual form or a multiplicity of forms is what I'm addressing. You see, if he says there, "I and my Father are one," they pick up stones to stone him. He says to them, "Good works." They say, "Not good works, but what? Blasphemy." Did they associate that statement of his with blasphemy?
Yes.
Why?
Which it would be if he wasn't God.
No. But why did they associate it with blasphemy?
What? Because he's saying of
I and my Father one.
I and my Father. Why has he said that? Okay, because to a Jewish mind who hasn't studied the Old Testament properly, it would seem that monotheism, the one God who exists in one person, maybe would be the predominant Jewish view. Maybe if you read through the Old Testament, there are hints of Trinity all over the place. And there's, in Genesis we find a plurality in the Godhead. Speaking about let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And we see it says in the Old Testament, no man may see God and live. And yet we find people come face to face with this theophany or this appearing of God in human form. Okay, so obviously the Jews of the day, the guys and the priests, they obviously got it wrong. We find that in the book of Malachi that they've gone astray, the priests have gone corrupt, and those who were meant to be guarding the Old Testament teachings, which were fully triune and was there, weren't holding proper to strict and proper Judaism.
Are you suggesting?
Yeah.
I think that's what is coming across. Are you suggesting that the Jews of the time of Jesus did not understand anything?
I'm saying
what you're suggesting.
I'm saying that they were blind. Blind guides, Jesus called the Pharisees. He said that he'd come to make known the Father to them. Obviously the knowledge of God at that time. Things had got pretty grim. It's clear from the Old Testament. The Old Testament ends with a proclamation.
You see this with the death and resurrection of the Messiah. At the end of Luke's Gospel, once he's raised from the dead, he talks about how what is it, slow and hard of heart not to believe all the prophets have spoken.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows how the Old Testament teaches something, the death and resurrection of the Messiah, which the Jews at the time did not understand. That'll be another example where Jesus himself tells us that contemporary Judaism did not get certain things right.
Yeah.
Could I just jump in with my understanding of the passage?
Of course, absolutely,
okay?
yeah.
And let me just try.
Expand on it.
And let me just try and understand where you're coming from, Shabir. So in John, just to go back to John chapter 10, just to refresh our memory, so in John 10:30, Jesus says, the Father and I are one.
Yes.
Verse 31, the Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus replied, I have shown you many good works from the Father, for which of these are you going to stone me? Yeah. The Jews answered, it is not for a good work that we're going to stone you, but for blasphemy. Yeah. So is the issue here that Christians like to say, look, he made a claim to divinity, that's why they're stoning him? Is your response to a response I've heard from many Muslims here, which is Jesus is saying it's not about a claim to divinity, the issue is about my good works? Is that where you're coming from? Right. Is that your perspective?
Partly.
That he's not claiming to be divine?
Partly what I'm saying is, look, number one, they made a claim that he was associating himself with the Creator. Yes. How was he doing that? By having made the statement, I and my Father are one. They immediately associated that particular statement as Jesus associating himself with the Creator. Now, he then says, very good word. They say no, but for blasphemy. Now the question I'm asking first and foremost is for them to have associated it with blasphemy, and the subsequent verse of Jesus Christ not correcting them, in terms of what they said. I want to know, okay, if they associated blasphemy, what is the law of blasphemy in Judaism? What would it be?
I'm not an expert on that.
No,
it's a very good
blasphemy. Blasphemy. The punishment for blasphemy is to be stopped.
No. We know the punishment, but for them to have made the allegation and him not correcting them, both of them were on the same page. They knew what they were talking about. The question I'm asking you guys is, what is the law of blasphemy for them to have invoked it?
That's a very good question. So this is something I'd like to look into more as time goes on. I think, unless I'm mistaken, Darrell Bock has done a lot of quite good scholarly work on this, particularly in terms of Jesus defending himself before the Jewish authorities with charge of blasphemy there. So probably what I need to do, and maybe many of us, is to try to see
absolutely, I agree with you. But if we are just to further,
what I would say is, I do think here that Jesus is claiming to be divine. So whatever the law of blasphemy is, I think obviously the Jews applied that here, and in a sense it was applicable in that I think Jesus did claim to be divine. Though of course I believe it was an accurate claim. But in terms of where that line begins, I don't know.
No, that's fine. That's not a problem.
As well, you've got as well within the Gospels, you've got something called the Messianic secret that Jesus didn't reveal everything straight away. He knew that he knew what is in men. He knew men's hearts, and and there was a specific time foreordained by the Father in which the Son would die on the cross. And before then, even if men tried to take him or to kill him, such as tried to throw him off the cliff at Capernaum, Christ finds a way out of it. So he could have fully fessed up at that moment and said, "Yeah, of course I'm God. Of course I'm the Christ." You'll see him at the right hand of the Father, as he did at Mark when they said, "Are you the Christ?" He says, "I am." And from now on, you will see the Son of Man at the right hand of God. He could have said it then, but it wasn't. His hour had not yet come.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree. You see, one of the things I've always done, and which may be familiar, is what I try and do is distinguish between the belief aspect and the evidence